Hey Pisces, this is Michael with your April 2023 reading. I hope that this finds you well. This month is actually really exciting, especially for you, with a lot of potential for abundance and new manifestations and sources of stability. We are very much focused on moving as quickly as possible, particularly in the first part of this month. I will say the energy can get a little bit frustrated as we reach the second half of April when Mercury is going retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So I do advise that people really get things started at the beginning of this month because it might feel like there's a bit of a constraint or like we are being delayed from starting something that's really exciting. But overall, Pisces, this energy is so beautiful. And again, there is just such great potential for your abundance. Before we get too far into this month's video, for those of you who are brand new to this channel, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. For those of you who are ready for a deep dive, you can find links for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions in the description of this video, or you can also find links to all of my other social media accounts and the accompanying blog post. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you don't ever miss out on what's in the cards for you. So as I'm shuffling the cards for you, Pisces, I do want to bring our attention to the astrology a little more in depth. We are starting off April in Aries season, and for you this pertains to your finances, it pertains to your stability. That's why there's so many things that are coming that could really be bringing in more abundance or more wealth. And it could also just be the thing that you value most too. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial. A specifically really powerful day is actually going to be April 11th. We have the sun joining together with your ruling planet Jupiter in the sign of Aries. So again, there is a lot of potential for new life, for expansion, for growth, all of these things that the sun and Jupiter represent coming together. This is actually probably one of the luckiest days of the year, and actually probably one of the best days to do manifestation work or intention setting. And this is also kind of compounded by the fact that we have Venus and Pluto coming together in a trine that day as well, bringing some harmony. So there's this beautiful potential for transformation, and especially transforming the way that we think about stability or security or relationships. It's funny, I actually was just shuffling the cards and I already had 5 cards pull out, which is how many cards I pull for the initial spread. So I'm just going to kind of read them to you here. Wow, we have the Tower coming out in the past. Whatever has been going on for my Pisces, there has been a radical transformation, and maybe there has been some sort of loss in this process as well. Sometimes when the Tower comes up, there is a shakeup in our sense of stability. There could be an ending in a relationship, there could be an ending of a job, or just something that is kind of like a really intense reality check or wake-up call. Even if this isn't necessarily a loss, it does feel like there is something that is really causing you to reassess the foundation in your life. And honestly, I'm not super surprised to see the Tower coming in as this past influence, because we just had Saturn move into your sign in March. And with Saturn now in your sign, there is this almost, I don't want to say restrictive energy, but it can bring restrictions or limitations. But it's also like polishing. Saturn is very much about chipping away things that aren't working or refining things that aren't working. And so you may have had sort of a reality check. You may have had a Tower moment, as we often talk about as tarot readers, when something really kind of explosive happens in your life or something kind of falls apart, but it's actually for your spiritual evolution. It's for this next chapter that you are coming into. So we are kind of starting off on a pretty loud note here, but I actually find this kind of exciting because I know very often, for me, the Tower moments that have happened in my life kind of precede very beautiful and exciting new chapters. So again, there has been this intensity, but I think this is bringing you into something really beautiful here. Yeah, we have the Ace of Swords kind of coming out as clarity, something you have gained from this Tower moment. And it feels like something is becoming very clear for you. And maybe it is this revelation. Maybe that itself is the Tower moment. Maybe that is the thing that is blowing open your mind or your perspective, Pisces. But something has become very abundantly clear. What has not been working in your life has become abundantly clear. And I feel like there is this power here, this insight, this revelation, this is the power you have gained from this tower moment. So I feel like you are coming into April with a lot of lucidity. And that feels really, really exciting to me. And we do also have a full moon in Libra at the beginning of this month as well. And that's happening on the 6th. This is the last full moon before we come into eclipse season. And the full moon in Libra really is about changes to your day-to-day life. That could be involving work, that could be involving coworkers or peers, that could also be involving your health or routine. Maybe that's part of this thing that's really kind of being shaken up for you. There's something in your daily life that is changing. And that might be where this clarity is coming from. The central card actually reminds me a lot of you, this Page of Cups. And this feels like such Pisces energy, because I feel like Pisces is a sign that can go through these really intense moments or these really big revelations and still come out soft and leading with the heart. And I feel like a lot of people, or a lot of cultures, kind of shun softness. But I feel like it's really, really important for you to listen to your intuition, to listen to your heart this month. And just be open, be receptive. Your vulnerability is your power. It's like walls have come down for you, Pisces, and like you're almost left with no place else to hide in your life. It might feel scary to some people, but I think for this group, like, you feel this faith, this hope in something. And it's so interesting because, again, we have Saturn in your sign, and I think collectively, Saturn in Pisces is like, honestly, kind of a challenging transit. Because Pisces, one of the co-rulers of Pisces, Jupiter, is naturally a very optimistic or faith-based sign. Sagittarius is kind of all about that fun. It's all about that optimism, the other sign that's ruled by Jupiter. But for you, Pisces, I think you really represent more that spiritual quality of Jupiter, that hope, that faith. It's a little more abstract, and like faith, even when things feel really hard or really, really challenging, and I think some of you have been in this place and like you still haven't lost faith, or you're reconnecting to your faith. And again, maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's what this revelation is that I'm picking up for you. There's just this renewal of faith, this renewal of purpose, or what life is really about. There's something that feels really, really significant to me. And I think some of you are feeling reignited in your purpose or on your life path. And with Saturn in your sign, it's like, okay, now I have to really work towards this. I have to take actions. I have to take steps towards my dreams. And for a lot of people, Saturn in Pisces feels like kind of a hopeless time. It feels really, really challenging. And I mean, the world we're in right now is really hard. And so it makes sense to me why this transit can feel hopeless to a lot of people. But honestly, Pisces, you have Pisces placements. You have access to this energy. You're able to be a light in this time of darkness. And that's really what I feel with this Page of Cups. And I feel like a lot of you are working on getting yourself unstuck. We have the Five of Cups. I feel like the emotions do change for you a lot this month, Pisces. And I feel like a lot of you are also addressing your thoughts, your beliefs. You're kind of questioning your own mind, or looking at your own mind objectively. You're looking at your thoughts. And that doesn't mean you have to believe in your thoughts. Something feels like it's flooding, you know? And it's interesting because I see this house in this flood, and I see you as the Page of Cups, and it's like things feel pretty intense. They feel really powerful right now, and that's not surprising. We're stepping into eclipse season. There's a lot of big energies that can feel intense or disruptive to our daily lives. There's often new beginnings and new endings. We're kind of in this threshold of chapters, and like even though there's big emotions, Pisces, it's like you are at the center of it. You're watching this, you're watching yourself, you're feeling your emotions, you're not dissociated. And it's almost like the way out of your suffering is just by looking at it. It's by seeing it with the Eight of Swords. You're not as trapped as you believed, as you once believed. You're cutting free of some really limiting beliefs. And I think this is just going to become more and more true as we are getting into Taurus season. And I mean, again, things slow down. Excuse me. Things really do slow down a lot at the end of April because we have Mercury going retrograde in Taurus, and Taurus energy is already very, very slow, and with Mercury appearing to move backwards, that's what this retrograde cycle is. In the sign of Taurus, things can slow down or even come to a halt. And maybe that's why it feels like there's this thing about being stuck, but it's actually like being present in this feeling is the thing that frees you. You're going to have to let me know in the comments down below how this is landing, because it feels like this feels like something that might feel really abstract until you're living it. So maybe you need to come back to this reading even. You're no longer as identified with your emotions. And I think with Venus entering into Gemini too, there's a lot of focus on home. Looking at this Five of Cups, there's a lot of focus on home and family and emotions from childhood and all of this conditioning and like all this flooding. And you know, the Five of Cups is interesting because it's always a matter of perspective with this card. Sometimes there is a loss. There is something that is happening here. But when I look at this Five of Cups, the house is still here. It hasn't been washed away. Yes, there's some damage. Yes, there's things that are going to need to be done. But there's still something that can be salvaged here. And like we look at these different receptacles here. We have the crushed can. We have the broken bottle. We have the upside down teacup. But then there's another cup. There's two cups that are still upright. You haven't lost everything. You know, I feel like some of you are going through this period and it feels very Saturnian where it's like you're kind of in this headspace of like, oh my God, I've lost everything. Why can't I keep anything? Like, why do I keep losing things? I think this is more of a story, if I'm being honest with you, Pisces. So if you're having a lot of really big emotions, like be present, be loving with yourself here, but also really challenge those beliefs, challenge those stories. Don't get swept up in those currents. Because I feel like there's a lot of really beautiful things coming. I'm actually going to pull a few more cards here. I'm specifically asking about finances. What is happening for finances? What is happening for Pisces? We have the Page of Pentacles. Beautiful. Yes, there is new beginnings. There are new beginnings here. And I just want to say, like, if some of you have lost an income source, or things have just felt very tight for you financially, and it feels like you feel like you have this idea and like it's not taking off right now, like your hard work will pay off with the Page of Pentacles. It's like planting a seed. There's a lot of patience that's going to be required, but I feel like there is this new chapter that is beginning for you in the month of April. You may not necessarily be spontaneously wealthy. I mean, maybe some of you will be, especially if you have invested in something already, but I feel like for a lot of you, there's like this new relationship to stability, to abundance, to finances. This is a really good omen. Let's get a little more clarity on this Page of Pentacles. We have the Three of Cups, a celebration, something that brings you joy. Woo! Okay, and the Magician. The Magician with the Chariot. Wow, okay, yeah. Again, financially, you are very powerful. Manifest. Set intentions, plant seeds. How do you want your life to feel? How do you want to move forward? This is going to require you to take action, Pisces. This doesn't feel like an energy of winning the lottery. I'm just going to be honest. This feels very much like an energy of you going forward and doing the things that actually feel good to you. And honestly, I almost feel like with this group, a lot of you have kind of a non-traditional career path, or like there's multiple things that you're supposed to be doing. I don't think it's just one. I think you're kind of exploring with the Three of Cups here. And the Magician is like kind of having fun with life again. And like going after the things that feel aligned for you with the Chariot. And really manifesting from that place. Because when we're manifesting from like a place like the Tower or the Five of Cups, where it's like, oh, I need this. I need to have this. My stability I'm very unstable. Things are falling apart. It feels like things are falling apart. It's the energy behind the manifestation that matters the most. So it's like, how can you find things that fill you with hope, that make you look forward to your life again, that make you look forward to something? Because that's going to be the thing that helps you get out of this energy. That's going to be the thing that helps you get unstuck. And there actually will be abundance that comes from this. I am feeling like for some of you, there is abundance that is going to be coming specifically in Gemini and or Cancer season, because the Magician represents Mercury. The Chariot represents Cancer, so this does feel like a time period for me. I believe that is the end of June to the end of July. Or technically the end of May to the end of July. This is going to be a really, really powerful time for you. And some of you might be fully realizing a manifestation during that time, or maybe you're getting news this month of something good that is happening during this time. That's giving you stability, that's giving you some abundance. And that's what's so interesting here. It's like, you are very lucky, you are a very powerful manifester, Pisces. I feel like there's some really big emotions that are coming up. What is this emotional energy about? The High Priestess and the Ten of Swords. I feel like some of you know something has to end. There is just a chapter of your life that has to end, and like you might be trying to hang on to things that are no longer aligned for you. And if this is your message, you'll kind of know with the High Priestess. And if it's not your message, nothing went wrong. I'm just connecting to other people's energy. Not all of these messages will apply to everyone anyway, but I feel like with the High Priestess and the Ten of Swords, you know something has to end. You know there are things that there are chapters that are closing in your life. And that feels kind of scary because maybe something once felt very, very stable. Something once felt very permanent. And you're now coming out of this. And you feel like you're never going to have this thing again. Or that, you know, the best thing that's ever happened to you has already happened to you. But I feel like, especially when it comes to finances, to your physical daily life, like there are so many beautiful things that are coming. There is joy coming, there is celebration, there's other people. You might be working with other people on a project. And honestly, it's funny because I feel like there's this weird energy of like, you need to do something that you love. That's when your manifestations are really going to flow, Pisces. Especially if there is something creative that you are supposed to be doing with a group of people. Even if that's not the thing that brings in money for you, that is going to be the thing that helps you flow with life. And that's going to make you so much more powerful. And it's also going to be the thing that helps you move forward and let go of things that aren't aligned for you anymore. I'm actually curious. Let's ask about relationships. Anything for love for Pisces? Anything for love? Any love messages for Pisces? We have the Two of Wands. Kind of looking forward into the future. Charting the course. Maybe this is you and someone else looking into the future. Maybe there are travel plans. We have the King of Pentacles. You know, it's interesting because there was the Three of Cups kind of talking about this abundance. Maybe you are doing this with another person. There's something you are creating, or you're figuring out some sort of financial plan with someone, especially an earth sign, particularly Taurus, but could also be Capricorn or Virgo. You're getting really serious about your future and what it is that you want to invest in. And I feel like there's something about Taurus season. So again, there's a lot that's happening like this spring and summer for you, Pisces. Taurus season is the end of April to the end of May. And it feels like there's something about something you are planning with another person. It feels like there's a lot of stability that's being built there. And the Star. Yeah, there's this sense of hope. This sense of like, things might be really hard right now, but we're going to be able to get through this. Or if you're single, you know someone's coming. You know there's someone coming into your life if you're looking for love. And you just kind of feel it. And it feels like a really special connection. Because actually when I was looking at the Two of Wands, I was even thinking of like kind of the twin flame concept. And I don't want to feed too much into that because frankly I think it's kind of a toxic belief system. But it feels like there is this really significant spiritual relationship for a lot of you. And maybe that's something that you're already in. Maybe that's something that you are calling in. But it feels like it's coming, and it feels like there's a lot of healing that's happening in relationships. And it's interesting that you started off with the Tower and we're kind of ending off with the Star here, because the Star is the card that comes after the Tower. After this sort of destruction, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there is a tower in the back of the Star. And you're now finding this place, this source of renewal. And this hope, this faith. And I talked about that. You have this hope, you had this faith. And honestly, maybe this isn't even a romantic connection. Maybe this is just someone who is older and wiser and someone who has something that brings peace to your heart. And maybe you're even connecting with them online or connecting with them from a faraway place with the Two of Wands. But it feels like there's healing and there's hope and there's renewal. And I feel like there is someone who is helping you with this, especially since you already had the Three of Cups. There are helpful people trying to come into your life right now. Knight of Cups. Your card, your energy. This is also a romantic card. Keep your heart open, Pisces. And that means crying if you need to. That means expressing emotions if you need to. And you know, I was talking about this with a client today. It's like sometimes when you're manifesting, one of the quickest ways to get your manifestation through, the universe has to kind of clear things out in your life that are holding you back. And I feel like some of you know that there are elements of your life that aren't aligned for you. With the High Priestess and the Ten of Swords, it's keeping you disconnected spiritually. And you kind of need to let that go. I want to pull one more card to clarify this. What is this thing that Pisces is letting go of? I know we're getting kind of towards the end of time. What is this thing that Pisces is letting go of? Page of Swords. I feel like there's someone in your life, or there's people in your life who are kind of shallow. And it's all of this communication. It's like negative talk, maybe negative self-talk, but it's like you're having a hard time letting this go, and it feels like it's other people too. It's like there's this culture around you, or this group of people around you. That might be something that's changing. And maybe you're afraid to change because it's like you might not be able to relate to the people around you anymore. But there's new people you're connecting with, people who have a similar passion or drive to you, with the Magician and the Chariot, with the Three of Cups. You're connecting on a more purposeful level. I'm going to pull an animal card for you too. I'm going to pull, we have the Camel. Yeah, this is all about having faith in the desert, honestly. Like, you have this inner source within you. Hold the vision. There is an oasis coming. Hold your vision, Pisces. Hold your vision. You have the light inside of you with the oyster. You have this precious gift inside of you. And I feel like a lot of people around you don't see it. And you're connecting with people who see the real you more. And that's how you're going to flow with life. Any other messages for Pisces? Any other messages for Pisces? Show us clearly, please. Any other messages for Pisces? Show us clearly. Full moon. Surrender to the divine. Yeah, this is all about having faith. This is all about letting yourself fully shine. And be bold and take the first move with the cardinal moon. And that's interesting because this new moon eclipse that we have on the 20th is going to be a new moon in Aries. It's a cardinal new moon. So there is a lot of action that you are supposed to be taking. And at the same time, it's like you're kind of jumping into a river. That's what this really feels like. Jump into the river. You know, you're afraid of this flow, this Five of Cups, this thing washing you away or washing your life away. But it's actually going to be the thing that is going to lead you to the life that you've been manifesting the fastest. And you need to trust in this. Your manifestation is so strong that it might scare you. It might require that you're taking a leap of faith that you might not feel ready for. But your life is about to change very, very quickly. And you're building something totally new. It's going to take time. But the momentum is here now. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Pisces. I hope this was helpful. I hope this wasn't too intense. You can find all of the links in the description box down below for personal readings, distance Reiki sessions, as well as the accompanying astrology blog to this video. You're also more than welcome to check out some of the other videos, maybe for your moon or rising sign. There may be some messages there for you as well. I will see you all in the next video, Pisces. I'm wishing you a very happy and blessed April. Take care.